Music has the power to transport us. That's why it's such an important part of a video game. It sets the tone for the experience. But what if the soundtrack in a game takes us somewhere we don't want to be right now? In this video, I want to share a simple music hack that I've been using to enjoy more games. It's a way to keep any game feeling fresh, and I think every gamer should have this trick in their back pocket. When Elden Ring first came out, I got swept up in the craze like everyone else. It was all I played for maybe 3 or 4 weeks straight. But unlike a lot of Elden Ring players, the atmosphere of the game wasn't one of the things that kept me playing. In fact, it started to wear me down a little bit. I think FromSoft built an incredible world. The Lands Between is epic, mysterious, and haunting. It's a place that begs to be explored with a host of bizarre creatures and otherworldly geography. I gotta be honest though, it's not somewhere I want to be all the time. Please, roast me in the comment section for this, but I can only handle so much of Elden Ring's oppressive atmosphere. From a design perspective, everything here is on point to deliver Miyazaki's intended experience, including the music. He doesn't want me to feel comfortable, and mission accomplished. After a month of playing, I was still gripped and I wanted to keep going. But I realized that my mood had shifted. What I needed from this game had changed. I started craving something to contrast all the death and despair. And that's when I had an idea. What if I made one adjustment to Elden Ring's atmosphere? What if I changed the music? I think a lot of people remember Elden Ring's soundtrack for its phenomenal boss themes. While there are many of these fights, and some you'll be running back quite a few times, most of your hours in the game are spent exploring the open world. And if you've forgotten or you haven't played Elden Ring, this is what it sounds like in those sections. The part of the soundtrack you hear more than anything else are these unsettling, ambient background compositions. These are great for establishing the setting, but they are intentionally unpleasant. FromSoft understands the connection between music and the brain. Research in psychology and neuroscience has consistently shown that music can impact emotions in listeners through stimulation of the limbic system. Upbeat, melodic compositions can enhance positive emotions, but ambient, dissonant tones, like in Elden Ring's open-world soundtrack, will often create feelings of tension or unease. It was this tension that I needed relief from, so I decided to make a change. I opened up the audio settings and turned just the music volume to 0. And then I played another game's soundtrack. Here's that same footage from before, but with the new background music. Instantly, the vibe of this game has shifted. Those with keen ears no doubt recognize this music from Breath of the Wild, and I found these piano covers by Daigoro789 to be the perfect switch-up I needed to refresh the Lands Between and match my new mood. I know this may sound sacrilegious to some of you, but I want to make one thing clear. I'm not suggesting you go into every new game and immediately overwrite the OST with whatever music you want to listen to. I do think you owe it to the composers of that game to experience at least some of what they've prepared for you. But I also want you to be realistic. If your palette differs slightly from that of the game maker, or your mood tends to shift around, I think you should be able to customize your experience to better suit the moment. It's like tasting a meal prepared by a friend or family member. Common etiquette dictates that you give the dish an honest try to experience it as it was intended by the chef. But if you prefer it a bit saltier or you like to add some spice, you do you. In fact, some developers like Rockstar and Playground Games decided to integrate this philosophy directly into their games. I'm sure many of you watching have experienced choosing a radio station in GTA 5 or Forza Horizon. This gives the player agency to experiment and adjust the vibe of the game on the fly. Okay, 2 final caveats I want to make with this technique. The first is that I would recommend keeping the new music within the realm of video game soundtracks, or at least sticking with instrumentals. I mean, if you really want to play f***ing Cardi B to hype you up against the Tree Sentinel, I can't stop you, but there's something special about video game compositions that just naturally belong with gameplay. As I've started to use this approach more, I've also expanded my library of game soundtracks, so now I have a lot more options to play with each time. I'll link some of my favorites in the description below. The other technical caveat is that this works the best when the game's sound effects and the new music are coming through the same output device. Otherwise, it feels disjointed. For those of us on console, you'll probably need to use a streaming app on your device. When I'm on Xbox, I just run the Spotify app before I load my game, and if I need to switch tracks or hop to another playlist, I can quickly jump over. If you're still not convinced, or you're a purist who is disgusted by the idea of swapping out a soundtrack, I want to ask you this question. What is video gaming if not an opportunity to craft our own unique adventure? A game's atmosphere is a fundamental part of that adventure. So my humble pitch is that if it starts to feel a little too heavy, or you find yourself craving a different vibe, why not try a new soundtrack? Worst case, you hate it and you go back to the OST. But best case, it breathes new life into the experience and gets you re-hooked on a game that was headed for your backlog. Alright, here's where I would love some help in the comments. What soundtracks do you guys think would work the best across other games? Personally, my go-to for fantasy and adventure has been a playlist of Skyrim and Oblivion songs, and it is incredible in games like Valheim and Wartales. Also, if you decide to give this hack a shot, let me know how it works out for you. Maybe I'm the only weirdo that likes doing this. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something, don't forget to leave a like or hit the subscribe button on the way out. I'll see you guys in the next one.